If you're a W-2 employee making decent money, you're doing something most people don't actually realize. You're subsidizing other people's wealth. Right now, while you're paying taxes on 100% of your income, there's a W-2 employee that's literally less than 3 miles from you at the exact same salary level who's writing off mortgage interest, property taxes, and building thousands of dollars in equity every single year. It's the same paycheck, but completely different financial outcomes. In the next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to show you why buying a home as a W-2 employee isn't optional if wealth is on your radar. And I'm specifically going to show you that in North Dallas markets where you can make this move right now with lots of builder incentives and great buy downs. Here's the reality. If you're renting, you're making someone else's mortgage payment while getting nothing. There's no taxes, there's no benefits, there's no equity, and there's no appreciation. If you own, however, every mortgage payment is partially tax deductible. Every property tax payment is deductible, and every dollar or principal is money going into an asset that appreciates annually 4 to 5% here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So let me show you the difference between two examples. Employee A rents, pays $1,400 a month, and builds absolutely nothing. After 10 years, he's paid $160,000 in rent that he doesn't own. However, for employee B, she buys a $400,000 home with the same salary, and after 10 years, her $1,600 mortgage payment has built $120,000 in equity. Plus, she saved thousands in taxes, and she owns an asset that's now worth $520,000 because of appreciation. That's the difference between funding someone else's wealth and building your own slowly. Let me be straight about all the tax stuff because it matters and it's not complicated. When you own a home, you get to deduct your mortgage interest and your property taxes from your federal taxes, and that's it. 2 deductions, 1 simple thing, and lots of savings. On a $400,000 home, that means you're roughly saving $5,000 to $700,000 every single year. Then that compounds over 30 years. In Texas, there's also something called a Homestead Exemption, a state tax reduction exclusive to homeowners. File that 1-page form after closing and you save approximately an additional $1,000 a year on property taxes. Again, compound that over 30 years, you're now saving $30,000. Again, very simple. File a form and save the money. That's it. About this is not saying that all this stuff is complicated. It's specifically stating that these are specific numbers that you can actually save. The point, renters get 0 tax benefits and buyers get lots of tax benefits. Homeowners get all these significant ones that create wealth gap and compounding for decades. But taxes aren't what really builds wealth. However, taxes aren't what builds wealth, it's appreciation. And here's what it looks like here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Dallas-Fort Worth appreciates annually 4 to 5%. And this is not just a specific number, this is actual documentation. So again, if we utilize the exact same $400,000 example and you buy a home here in 2026, average of 4.5% appreciation, look at these wild gains. By year 5, that $400,000 converts to $500,000. By year 10, that $400,000 converts to over $600,000. And by year 20, that $400,000 converts all the way up to $950,000. 20 years ago, you bought this for $400K, and now it's worth $900K. The market did that while you slept every single night. Adding that with the principal you're paying down, after 10 years, you've paid approximately $75,000 of principal towards your mortgage. And that is creating equity with this, which is specifically yours. So that an initial $60K for that down payment is now converted to $250K in equity over 10 years. And it's not luck, it's math. And here's the legal part most people don't know. When you sell that home, you can exclude up to $250,000 of gains if you're single and $500,000 of gains as a married couple. And these 2 things are completely tax-free, which is a federal law here in the United States. Meaning, if you sell that $400,000 home for $650,000, you can pocket that remaining $250,000 versus 0 capital gains tax. Rent doesn't do any of this. Stocks don't do any of this. Only real estate does. And if you're wondering what the best advice is for new buyers right now, look towards new construction. Now, in this market, builders are offering 3 warranties that can get you all these things completely free. Number 1, a structural warranty. This is covered for the first 10 years. So anything for foundationing or frame is converted and covered. Number 2 is a systems warranty, which is covering for the first 2 years. So anything regarding HVAC to plumbing is covered completely free. And lastly, number 3 is the cosmetic warranty, which is covered for the first year. Anything regarding carpeting, flooring, painting, or any of that stuff that you find within the first 365 days the builder will come back and replace it entirely free. And this is why new construction makes sense right now. Builders are desperate to move inventory, so they're offering these warranties plus closing cost incentives and rate buydowns, lowering your monthly payment. With all this information, I get it, it's a lot, and you're probably wondering what the best place is right now here to purchase in North Dallas, Texas. Really, it's anywhere that there's new construction offering builder incentives. 2026 is a buyer's market for new builders, and here's a few areas that we've kept their eyes out for our clients. Frisco and Prosper. New construction ranges from $500,000 to $650,000, and builders are offering around $50K in closing costs and a 2 to 3% rate buydowns. Top school districts in this area, and it's premium pricing, but you get that with the school district. The second area, McKinney, Texas. New construction ranges around $500,000 to $550,000. They offer an amazing historic downtown. There's cool areas like Adriatica neighborhood, and lots of transplants move here because there's such great character, and the new builders are offering very strong incentives. The third area, that's Salina and Anna area. Further out, further north, about 40 to 45 minutes to 60 minutes from downtown. However, the pricing is around $300,000 to $400,000 for new construction. Way cheaper than Frisco, way cheaper than McKinney, but you have the exact same warranties with a high growth corridor and rising school districts. Another one is Little Elm. This is near Lake Louisville, and new construction ranges around $400,000 to $450,000. This one buys you that outdoor lifestyle, plus you get the great new build benefits. Great for a first-time home buyer who wants to feel like they're always on vacation with a lake right nearby. They can do stuff on the weekends. Closer further south, there's Plano, and new builds here are going to be more expensive because of location, ranging around $550,000 to $650,000. However, this is an absolute tech hub. You have Google, Toyota, Meta, all here, and you have established strong school districts, feel more like Frisco, and the builder incentives are just as real. Looking for something a bit more south and cheaper, look towards Garland. These new construction homes hover around $380,000 to $470,000, but don't sleep on this one because it's very underrated. You have the Dart light rail access right close to downtown, and it's way more affordable than these northern suburbs, and builders have lots of inventory with offering lots of incentives. Within any of these areas, you're resting around the $350,000 to $600,000 home price. You invested $60,000, and 10 years later, that $60K is going to build towards an equity of over $250,000. Plus, you're going to be saving over $50,000 in taxes alone. This is not risky. It's just math that you can actually look up and help yourselves for the future. So here's exactly what you need to do next if you're actually interested as being a first-time home buyer for a W-2 employee. Step 1, get pre-approved. If you have a credit score of 660 plus, you can qualify for conventional loans at better rates. If it's 620 to 660, utilize FHA and that still works. If you want me to be real and your credit score is a bit below that, go ahead and wait and bump it up so your mortgage payment isn't as high. Step 2, figure out your real budget. Not what a lender says, but what you can actually afford. What you can actually afford comfortably is around that 25 to 30% of your gross income, and that's around the same target that we always look at for our clients. Step 3, pick a North Dallas market that feels right for you. If you want to go for Frisco, McKinney, Garland, Plano, all these locations are absolutely great, but it needs to be specifically based on your price point and the location that you're comfortable spending every single day for that commute. Step 4, comment below with your market, and I'll send you current builder inventories, incentives, rates, buydowns for that area with no cost and no obligations. Or you can skip all the research, utilize my link in the description, and I can do all these completely free. We can jump on a consultation call, and I can exactly tell you what's available with your budget within 24 hours. So as a summary, the wealth gap between renting and owning as a W-2 employee is real, quantifiable, and it's an obligation I want to tell you that's available right in your doorstep. This isn't about real estate being trendy. It's about real estate being a problem solver. It's the math, the tax savings, the principal paydowns, and the appreciation all working for you simultaneously. The market's giving you an entry point right now with home prices slash up approximately 25% and with builder incentives and rate buydowns. Next year, that window might be limited. So don't wait, get pre-approved, look at homes and make an offer. Your future self will thank you later. So I want to end with one of my favorite verses. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. And that's in Proverbs 15:22. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next week. God bless.